Here's something I often hear from leaders. I'm just not a good storyteller. My question is, says who? Because for most of human history, storytelling wasn't a skill that some people had and others didn't. It was actually the main way we passed knowledge along. Before writing, before books, before the white paper and the 7-bullet email, there was a fire. And someone sitting at that fire knew they had something worth sharing. And they didn't do a presentation, they told the story. And when they told the story, people leaned in. And when people leaned in, it was because they didn't know what was next in the story. So, what changed? Well, the written word changed things, and rightly so. It's hard to run a company on campfire stories alone. Memos, reports, structured emails, those are the tools that we use to move information along, and they're great at it. But there's a catch. Information moves along, while understanding is what sticks. And it's the story that's the glue. The good news is that right now we're swinging back. Video, voice notes, short email clips, they go right to our team. The spoken word is rising again, and leaders that know how to use story, they have an edge. So here's a couple of ways to sharpen any story that you tell. One is start in the middle. Most people start a story at the beginning. You know how it goes. So back in September of 2019, 12 of us were at a job site 30 miles north of St. Louis. See, we've already lost the room. Instead, start where the action is. Drop people right into that moment. So the foreman walks up to me. The crane is stopped mid-lift. Everybody on the site is looking at him. He says, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. See, I'm in. Now I need to know what happened. The setup can come later. The hook is what comes first. Here's another one. Build the gap. See, that's what makes people lean in at the fire is they don't know what's coming next. And a story without tension is just a report with better sentences. Before you tell a story, ask yourself, where is the moment where somebody wanted one thing but they got another? Or where did something go wrong or at least not as planned? That's a gap that you can use in the story, and that's where people are going to lean in. Every story worth telling has a problem in it somewhere. I learned this firsthand. A few months back, I competed in the National Speaker Association storytelling competition. The main rule, if you go 1 second over 5 minutes, you're disqualified. And when you've only got 5 minutes, you find out real fast what matters in a story and what doesn't. You cut everything that doesn't help the story, and what you end up keeping is really the tension. That's the discipline that every leader needs. Know your one takeaway. Start in the middle. Leave a gap for some attention. If you do those 3 things, your stories are going to go a lot further and do what they were really meant to do. Teach something that sticks. Now, you're not a bad storyteller. You're a storyteller that's just out of practice. It's time to train back in. Now, go lead well. I'll see you next week.